But what really sets Odie apart from everyone else is this is actually a converted school bus. On the door, you can see this sign that some of the former students actually posted. It says, "Former ITT students, we are at Logan's drowning our tears." This area here is what's left of an indoor dressage arena. The only part still standing is behind us here, a stall for 1 horse and 2 ponies. Miraculously, they made it out alive. First, we did clarify that 9 contractors were on the scene at the time of the explosion. A track hoe accidentally punctured the line, causing the gas to ignite. Lines have been long out here at Oakwood University from sun up to sundown, and it doesn't look like that's going to change now that the sun has set for the evening. The city has agreed to sell these 11 parcels that are just right across the street from Lowe Mill. The company, Invent Huntsville LLC, already owns several pieces of property around these city lots. To be in this place for this game, to see the confetti fly, is something only 70,000 people in the whole world can say they saw in person. I'm WHNT News 19's Chris Davis here along the fire line of the Mentone fire that is raging through this area this afternoon. This is right along a Holmes property right off of County Road 89 in Mentone. They've allowed us to come back here, but we're obviously keeping a pretty safe distance. Mr. Ivy says the course will be closed for an indefinite amount of time, meaning if you like to play out here, you better get your shots in while you still can.
In Madison County, the Ryland area, one of the hardest hit areas. WHNT News 19's Chris Davis spent time on both sides of the Flint River in the Central Estates neighborhood and at Flint Ridge Farm. Both were left almost unrecognizable by the tornado.
You don't have to be a horse person.
I think we're probably still in shock.
To appreciate the love many of the owners out at Flint Ridge have for their 4-legged friends.
Seeing that things are gone, like they weren't even there.
So you can understand Heidi's horror when she came out early Wednesday morning to find this. The main barn's roof gone. Part of their green barn destroyed. Trees snapped in all directions like toothpicks. Debris scattered all over. This area here is what's left of an indoor dressage arena. The only part still standing is behind us here, a stall for 1 horse and 2 ponies. Miraculously, they made it out alive. In fact, all 35 horses out at Flint Ridge survived. Heidi says there can only be one explanation.
The hand of God came down over the barn.
Hands of neighbors were busy throughout the day. Like an old-fashioned Southern barn raising, church groups and members of the horse community lent a hand in the daunting cleanup process.
There's a lot of work, and there's a lot more than any insurance is going to cover.
Just a few miles down the road, Melody Davis found herself in a similar scenario.
Everything inside my house is damaged, pretty much.
When she heard the tornado warning on her phone, she leapt into her closet.
And that's when this big rumbling came through, and then it felt like pressure was just like trying to lift stuff up.
When she emerged, she found her entire roof had collapsed into her home.
All my furniture, my walls.
Had she been anywhere else in the house, she knows her story might have ended differently.
If I hadn't been there, who knows what would have happened. But no, not a scratch.
Both property owners are counting their blessings because things can be replaced, but not the ones we love.
We're extremely fortunate.
In Madison County, Chris Davis, WHNT News 19.
Well, last night we told you about a bracelet an 8-year-old boy and his mother found at Mayfair Park, and they've been working since Saturday to find the rightful owner. Well, only 12 hours after our story aired last night, we got results and we found who the bracelet belongs to. WHNT News 19's Chris Davis joins us now with the update. Chris?
Well, Carissa, this is a great story. We got a call from Mindy Nettles this morning, extremely emotional, letting us know that that was her bracelet that we featured last night. She could describe each and every charm in vivid detail. Perhaps the only thing more amazing than the significance this bracelet has in her life is the story behind how it ended up in Mayfair Park in the first place.
So many memories in that bracelet. Yes.
Of all Mindy's earthly possessions,
I can't tell you what you gave back to me, sweetheart.
Aww. Nothing means quite as much.
When I called the TV station to tell them this was mine, I was crying so hard that I could barely tell them my name.
As this charm bracelet,
you want to put it on my arm and I'll help you get it hooked.
Given to her by her beloved son. On the back of one charm in particular reads the inscription,
"Thanks, Mom, from Jacob."
That charm is probably the most meaningful to me. So I feel like he was kind of watching out for me too and helped me find it.
Mindy lost her son, Jacob, a few years ago.
The bracelet was given to me on Mother's Day when my son was about a year old.
The charms became a tangible reminder of an incredible life.
I said, "Why do you think your dad put, 'Thank you, Jacob'?" And he said, "Because I'm thanking you for being my mommy."
As you can imagine, something so special is not something Mindy would just lose. And she didn't.
They stole a lot of things from my house, but this was the thing that was the most important to me.
She says a group of people burglarized her house just down the street from the park. Her theory is burglars ditched the bracelet when they saw it was something too personal to sell.
This was the one thing that I really wanted to get back.
It was lost.
Right here.
Until little Wesley and his mother found it
He's the kind of people we need.
and made it their mission to track down the owner.
I just want to thank Kim and her family, and I want to thank WHNT.
Mindy may never get her other belongings back,
Thank you for raising a good boy.
but perhaps she's gained a new young friend.
I'm just really happy that I made someone happy.
And as for that beautiful bracelet, it's right back where it belongs.
And it made me feel very hopeful that someone as sweet as you gave it back to me when someone who wasn't as sweet took it from me.
Right.
Now, little Wesley didn't walk away empty-handed. Mindy was so impressed that Wesley found the bracelet and worked with his mother to find the rightful owner that Mindy baked the family cookies. She also gave Wesley an envelope and asked him to open it later. She insisted that needed to be their little secret. But really such an incredible story, and if we hadn't ran the story last night, Mindy might still be looking for her charms. Clarissa?
Oh, I'm trying to hold it together. Such a great story.
After fighting for his country in World War II, a 96-year-old veteran became upset that his apartment complex, which is government supported, lacked an American flag on display. WHNT News 19's Chris Davis joins us now with this man's incredible story of how he fought so hard to make sure that Old Glory was flying high.
Incredible indeed, Megan. Chief Petty Officer Sherwin Callender helped with recovery efforts after the attack on Pearl Harbor and years later landed on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. But there's an even greater reason why he tells me it's so important for the flag to fly where he lives.
That flag means everything to me.
Where Mr. Callender grew up, this flag wasn't flying on the pole. He was born in Canada, but his parents naturalized to the United States when he was just 3 years old.
And when the guy come for the Navy, he says, "You'll have a girl in every port." I said, "Sign me up."
Sherwin has more remarkable war stories than there are threads in the flag. One of the most terrifying was being part of a supply mission in the Pacific the day before the Pearl Harbor attack.
We got in the next day, and I had to help clean up the mess and get dead bodies out of the water.
He took part in 3 invasions in the European theater before World War II ended.
My prayers was answered. I never got a scratch.
No Purple Heart, but he won something that meant much more: United States citizenship.
I've been in so many different countries, being in the Navy, and I've seen them countries. They don't have the freedom we have.
Following the war, everywhere he lived had a flag on display, except his current home, Dublin Village in Madison. But when he requested a pole to be installed at the government-supported housing complex,
They told me, "No, you can't do it." I said, "Why not?" I seen red when they answered me. They said, "We might hurt somebody's feelings." I said, "Hurt their feelings? To have our flag flying?" I said, "I fought for this flag." I said, "There's so many men died for this flag."
proving persistence is as powerful of a weapon as any, Sherwin requested a poll for 8 years. Now, with a new change in management, he finally got the answer he was looking for.
"Yes, we'll get you a flagpole."
Over the weekend, a group of retired military personnel from various branches, dressed in uniform, performed a flag ceremony for Sherwin's pole.
It just brought tears to my eyes, seeing Old Glory.
And now Sherwin can go to bed each night knowing that the flag he fought for and his friends died for flies high and proud for all to see.
I can look right out my window now and see her.
Wow.
And it gets better. Next month, for the first time since the Pearl Harbor attack in December of 1941, Sherwin and his granddaughter will return to Pearl Harbor. And he says it may bring up some painful memories, but he could not be more excited to be able to see that after all these years.
Wow, all the stories that I'm sure you got to hear today. I'm jealous.
Yeah, to fit it in the time frame we had was hard, but what a remarkable man.
Absolutely.